Hello and welcome to Music Nerd. This week we will be talking about what it means to be emo and where in the world that could get you killed. Last week on Music Nerd, I defended Juggalos, fans of the Insane Clown Posse, and specifically their new social network, Juggalo book. And Music Nerd got featured on True Juggalo Family, a Juggalo blog, a prominent one. Whoop whoop. Lots of real live juggalos saw it and commented. Shay Zombie said, "Much respect to you, Dan Brown, for this. My only nitpick is that juggalos and juggalettes come from all walks of life, social backgrounds, and all cultures, not just the disenfranchised youths. It's a worldwide family just trying to live freely together, united through music and love." I just want to say thank you to all of the Juggalo homies who watched and commented last week. This week I will be talking about another misunderstood musical subculture, the emo. Now, emo is short for emotional, and by emotional they usually mean sad, self-reflective, brutally honest, and often there's a huge contrast between really soft vocal sections and screaming emotional climaxes. Think Dashboard Confessional, Thursday, Taking Back Sunday. But more infamous than their music is perhaps their signature style. We've all seen it. They wear tight black clothes. They have hair that covers half of their face. Many people assume that they are depressed and introverted, and because people assume they're depressed and introverted, it's easy for someone who's looking for something to hate on emos. And that's played itself out in high schools all around the Western world. It's also played itself out in much more serious ways internationally. In 2008, 3 Mexican emos were attacked by a mob of hundreds. At the same time, Russian legislators were pushing laws to regulate emos' websites and ban emos from being in schools and state buildings. In 2010, 10 emo girls were arrested in Saudi Arabia by religious police. And right now, emos are being killed in Iraq. Now, I should clarify that in Iraq, being emo is somewhat synonymous with being gay. The exact correlation isn't entirely clear, but attacking emos could just be a cover for attacking gays. And it all started when last August, a letter from the Iraqi Education Ministry cautioned schools against allowing students to have camera phones because they said that they might use them to make dirty movies. They cautioned schools against letting students leave at all during school hours because they were worried they might gather in coffee shops to practice, quote, dirty activities. And they blamed these alarming trends on emo. And they called emo a, quote, infiltrated phenomenon in our society. The anti-emo drumbeat has intensified in the intervening months, and emos have since been described as devil worshippers. They've been framed by the government as a problem to be dealt with. And according to reports this week, as many as 100 emos have been stoned to death. And the Iraqi government says officially that that's not the way that they meant to deal with emos, but at the same time, they've been turning a blind eye to the violence. Groups responsible for the violence have published hit lists in various Iraqi cities, warning specific emo kids to change their ways or face a similar fate in the coming weeks, and that is where things currently stand. Now, I don't have an opinion on the matter, really. I mean, I guess I have the only opinion that makes sense to have, which is that this is terrible, but basically I just wanted to make you aware that this is happening. And while it's obviously tragic, it's also interesting that something that started with our culture is sparking so much craziness in another culture on the other side of the planet. So I don't know, what do you guys make of it? Is there anything that we can do from where we are right now other than just hopelessly watch? Do we have an obligation to do anything? Do emo bands have an obligation to do anything? Let me know. Post a comment. If you enjoyed this week's Music Nerd, be sure to check out every week's Music Nerd by clicking the link to the playlist right here. And to see the other half of this week's Music Nerd, check out Music Nerd Number Cruncher by clicking right here.